it's time to go talk about RBG.
Yeah,
Is that okay if we go to RBG right now? Because everybody wants to see what's going on with the Supreme Court. So let's go through this. Obviously, she is a hero to many women out there. Democrats admire the hell out of this woman for what she did, and even many Republicans do, and many people in the Senate do, okay? I watched her documentary yesterday to just kind of get a feel, why is she admired the way she is? Her story is fascinating, by the way. In the 50s, she gets accepted to Harvard. She goes to school. Out of 500 students at law school, she's one of 9 women, okay, that gets accepted. 500, she's one of 9 women. 9 out of 500 are women. She goes to Harvard Law having a 14-month-old baby, okay, 14-month-old baby, and her husband in his 3rd year ends up having cancer during a time without chemo, and she has to figure all this stuff out. He graduates from Harvard Law and goes to Columbia. She follows him. She ends up going to Columbia University, gets her degree. No one's hiring her. Finally, she gets a job. After getting a job, she starts fighting for the rights for women to be able to have jobs, women to be able to do all these things. And then she once fought for a man who lost his wife. His wife had a baby. During the delivery process, there's some complications. She dies. He's a single father. He decides to stay home to raise the kid, but the government only gives benefits to mothers, not fathers. It's pretty interesting. She went and fought for that and got him to get the benefits just like he would have been a mother. So he got the benefits. And it was a very interesting story that she did. So her story is fascinating. She's tough. And, a lot of great campaigns. They called it a notorious RBG. You can't say truth without Ruth. All these other things. So marketing-wise, she went to where she's at. So when she passed away, obviously respect to anybody that gives her life to, her country with belief system that she has. You may not agree with her. I don't agree with her belief system on what she has, but I respect the hell out of somebody that fights the way she did. And she had the ability to be friends with Scalia. Her and Scalia were very good friends. They disagreed, but they had very good relationship together. So now, all this stuff that we know with her legacy, she dies last week, okay? Her death leaves the court with 5 conservative-leaning justices and 3 liberal ones. Trump said Saturday that he'll nominate a replacement this week, okay? He has pledged to nominate a woman. Yesterday in his speech, he specifically said, I hope men don't get upset that I'm nominating a woman. She said, I wouldn't be surprised if new polls come out saying men are against Trump, okay, just out of humor. Democrats responded with a resounding, oh, that's rich, pointing to McConnell's refusal in 2016 to hold a hearing for then President Barack Obama's nominee, Merrick Garland, because it was an election year, a possible bigger issue. On November 10, 1 week after the election, the Supreme Court hear oral arguments on lawsuit against the health care law, et cetera, et cetera. So anyways, we have a lot of different candidates we can talk about here in a minute. We have a lot of people that flip back and forth, all this stuff. But I'll go to you first, Tom. What are your thoughts about Trump picking someone 46 days out before election?
Okay, well, I think this thing has a lot of legs, the personal side of things. I'm sad that she's dead just because, A, it's going to divide the country even more right when we don't need it, and B, it's nice to hear a story like you saw in the documentary of someone that can at least listen to somebody on the other side, okay? Now, politically, I think you have to ask yourself, what's precedent, right? How long does it usually take to nominate someone and get him, passed through Senate and Congress? The average time since 1975 is 67 days. The median time is 71 days. Both those fall outside. This is strictly a political game right now. I mean, what else could we expect? He's going to try to ram it through as fast as he possibly can. It's going to cause all kinds of dissension and problems in this country. He's doing what you do as a politician. Ted Cruz is doing what he does as a politician, going out there stumping for saying we need to get this done immediately. It's a huge decision, and you can't blame them politically for wanting to ram it through.
So, I mean, for me, there's 2 stories here. It's number one, the legacy that she has created. So respect whether you're on the left or the right. This is a justice of the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Respect what she's done. The most, I think, thing that I think is most fascinating is the fact that she was able to transcend politics and the Supreme Court and make it into the pop culture. If you ever watch Saturday Night Live, Kate McKinnon did an amazing impersonation of RBG.
Yep.
She would
Phenomenal.
do her little dances and break it down. I mean, respect for a Supreme Court. She's 80. What did she died? She was 89 years old, 87 years old. Just so on the first level, respect. Then I'm going to go someplace else with this. This whole, the word that comes to mind in what's happening right now is hypocrisy of the highest order. Let's take it back to 2016. Justice, her best friend, or a good friend, Justice Antonin Scalia, super conservative on the right, on the Supreme Court, passes away 10 months before the election. 10 months. Obama, he's in office. He's been in office for 7 years at this point. Nominates the president is allowed to pick Supreme Court vacancy, right? Fill that seat, right? That's the whole point. He selects Merrick Garland. I'll take you guys back if you remember the story in 2016. Takes it back. He selects Merrick Garland, okay? Republicans say, no way, can you fill that seat right now? Not in an election year. Not in an election year. The election is in 10 months. You have people coming left and right. You have to have the people have a voice. You have to let the people have a voice. Lindsey Graham is out there saying unbelievable things. He's saying, I mean, this is the amazing thing about Lindsey Graham. The guy, if he doesn't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. The guy flip-flops like it's a summer vacation. He comes out there, he says, have you seen what he said? He says, use my words against me. He started to say, use my words against me. In an election year, you cannot fill the seat. You have to let the people have a choice. So now what's going on right now? So what happens is, obviously, Trump wins. Merrick Garland does not get the nomination. They nominate instead. Trump selects Neil Gorsuch. Cool. He's on the Supreme Court. Fair and square. That was 10 months out from an election. Now we are 45 days out. 45 days out. And they're trying to ram this through. This is 4 years ago when they said, not an election year. You have to let people have a voice. You have to let people have a voice. So it's so funny how the tables turn right now. So let me tell you something. If Trump won the election, which he did, and they nominate Neil Gorsuch, cool. He won the election. Let the people have a voice. Now this time around, you have you have Lindsey Graham basically saying, well, don't necessarily take my words. Buddy, you're on camera.
Did you see
4 years ago saying basically use my words against me? Not an election year.
You're so funny, man. Seriously, you are entertaining, to say the least.
Yeah.
The only side that is hypocrisy is on the right, is what you're saying, right?
I'm saying both sides.
Okay, no, you didn't say both sides. You said Lindsey Graham and McConnell is
okay,
only one side. So how about give the other
Let's
side?
back up.
Go ahead.
Joe Biden said years ago.
Praise the Lord.
Okay,
go ahead.
Years ago. But
Tell
I'm talking about 2016.
But talk
the last time.
What did Biden say years ago? 92. And 92. What did he say?
They both said it.
Yeah.
They both said it. But I'm talking about the last time this happened. You brought up Antonin Scalia, so I'm telling that story.
Yes.
What happened there? They said you have to let the people have a voice. So why not do the same thing you just said 3-4 years ago? Why not? What's the difference?
Buddy, Biden in 92 says don't put a judge. In 2016, he said put a judge.
That's in 1992.
But that's
cool,
not
I get
the
that. That's 30 years ago.
That's not the I can go on. Look, RBG took 42 days, okay, for her to be take the seat. Now, Trump's going to try to push for that.
To honor her, we should do 42 days.
I heard you out. Let me give you mine. I sat there and listened. So took 42 days. Do you know how many times the Supreme Court's been chosen on an election year in the history of America? We have how many presidents? 45.
I'm sure a
Hang
handful,
on a second.
yes.
45. So let's just say 44, okay? Because it's we can't count Trump's 45 for election. You still go 44. Out of 44, how many times has a Supreme Court been chosen, justice been chosen during election?
I have a list right here. I have a list right here.
No, I don't want
How
you to
many
say the
times?
names. Just give me the number.
I'll say a handful.
A handful?
Yeah.
Try 29.
Okay.
Really?
29 times.
Wow. Okay.
This has happened. This isn't something new. Taft, Hoover, Wilson, both sides. This is when you get this kind of an opportunity, you can't let it go. Right. I understand what Obama did. When it was Scalia, the whole thing had a bunch of conspiracies behind it, but he filled the seat. Okay, and by the way,
he did. Okay, go ahead.
And all of this stuff being talked about with this 29 times this has happened. There's a bunch of different candidates that Trump's already proposed. The other part that's important to keep in mind that Trump could potentially be the first president since Reagan to nominate three.
Think about it, in one
Supreme
term.
Court judge, 3. This is insane to be able to do 3 in one term for him to do that. If he was a liberal, they would call him the greatest president of all time on the liberal side. There's a reason why they love Reagan on the right. He got 3 Supreme Court judges. And you got to keep this part in mind. You know, as much as we think presidency is important, which it is, this is not a 4-year term thing. This is
a lifetime.
This is a life. So if the conservatives control this for 15, 20 years, that is a scary thought for the folks on the left because we know what things could potentially be pushed out here. So we know that. Now let's talk about the nominees.
No more Roe versus Wade.
No
Sorry,
more Roe
ladies.
versus. Yeah, exactly. That's a possibility. Here's a couple things. Trump's list: Bridget Shelton Okay, she's the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. She's one. Amy Coney Barrett, devout Catholic, opposes abortion. She's right now looking like she could be the potential number one. So she's a scary one that the left doesn't want to get nominated, because if she does, she could be pushing Roe versus Wade. Federal Appeals Court Judge Allison Jones, they like her a lot in the White House. The challenge is she's only 38 years old. Chippoline's Deputy Kate Todd, admired by the White House but not likely. Michigan's Judge Joanne Larson. So there's a handful of names that he has nominated. Biden hasn't given any names yet. He has alluded to some things, but he has not given any names yet. Here's what this is really all about. Look, Republicans hate the fact that they don't control Congress today. They can't stand it. It's annoying. Trump got impeached, not because he got impeached. All of us thought impeachment was he has to resign and leave and be the next Nixon. No, impeachment is just bad on your record. Why did that happen? Because the left controls what? The Congress. They knew the fact that even if you impeach, they intentionally wanted to leave a what? Mark on his reputation. They said, you will forever be the president that got impeached. You say something like that, you think a guy like Trump's going to forget that? You're doing it to the wrong guy. That's all about retaliation. Yeah. He's going to remember and he's going to respond. And that's exactly what they're going to get. I'm telling you right now, Trump is going to double down on this. And if there is an issue, there's always the whole quiver, that whole thing that what if something new comes out? If there's ever been a reason for the people in the middle who were about to vote for Biden that have had a change in heart or a change of mind of what they want to do because fiscally they're conservative and certain areas are conservative, but they cannot stand Trump, they're going to vote for Trump to get a conservative Supreme Court justice, and they will do whatever they can. So this situation here, as unfortunate as it may be, it just opened up the doors for the right.
Yeah, and
I think I look at it a different way. It's also opened up doors. How many women out there that are fans of women's rights?
They were never going to vote Republican anyways. That's the point. Yeah. They were never going to vote Republican
anyways. Suburban women have voted Republican for decades, and they can't stand Trump. College-educated suburban women have voted Republican.
They were not going to vote Trump anyways.
Yeah, are you saying that liberals would support a female?
I didn't say anything about liberals. Okay, I said women.
Yeah. Let's not just say that women are liberals.
I'm just saying women.
Well,
I'm just saying women.
Well, a woman is going to be appointed. I mean, that's a fact.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. I'm just saying that women.
Are you upset that Trump is choosing a woman to be a Supreme Court?
No, not at all. I don't care.
You want a man?
Look, we could talk about precedent, about what freaking Abraham Lincoln did in 1860, whatever. Who cares? I'm talking about the last time this happened.
But you know who brought Abraham Lincoln what he did in 7? You know who brought him up? Who brought him up? Clinton brought him up. Okay. The point is they're using that story. You just said I don't care, but that's what
I'm talking about. The last time this happened. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Let's talk about the leaders of your party are bringing up Lincoln.
Not my party.
Bill Clinton's your guy.
I do like Bill Clinton. Okay?
Hey, here's the one thing.
You know how many flights I've been on Bill Clinton to
you do not
islands?
want to admit that because that story just came out. That's not a good story to come up.
Here's the one thing we haven't discussed. There's never been a more important nomination than right now because this presidential election will probably be decided by the Supreme Court. So this is very, very huge. And remember what Ruth Bader Ginsburg said back in 2016 when this was a debate, right? When Obama in an election year, she said, hey, a president is elected for 4 years, not 3. Allow him to make the decision all the way up to the end of his 4th year.
Who said that?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Said that about what?
Back when Obama, when he faced the same situation with 10 months to go. Okay. She was defending his right to be able to pick who he wanted that final year.
Okay, and then what happened?
Well, you know what? The right was a little bit stronger, a little more deft with their political might.
Tom, your point, you just proved my point. They should have the right to do that.
Right.
Especially but why didn't Obama have the right to do that?
Wasn't savvy enough.
He wasn't savvy enough. Okay. Well, let's see if Trump's savvy
But that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what's happening right now. I don't think it's possible for him to get it done before the election. I think it's impossible.
I actually think it favors him if he doesn't get it done. I actually think it favors him if he doesn't get it done.
Why, more of a victim than?
No, if he doesn't get it done, then he's going to say, listen, they're not letting us do it. You got to make sure you vote for me so I do get it done. I think it favors him to not get it done.
Yeah.
I actually think the complete opposite way.
So the Democrats playing into his hands.
Yeah, I think he's going to sit there and he's going to say, no, they're not letting us do it. You got to reelect me. I think strategically it's better if he doesn't get it done pre-election day, strategically. And I may be wrong. I'm a business guy. I may be wrong, but I think strategically it benefits him if it doesn't get it done pre-election day.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? He's going to, whatever happens, he's going to use it to his advantage, and he'll find a way. Just like being impeached, he'll proclaim that he's the only president to be impeached and to be reelected, which is quite an accomplishment. If it's
By the way, did you see the dying wish of hers? Did you read about her dying wish? That all these AOC and everybody is using this as a dying wish? Did you read about RBG's dying wish?
I saw the headline.
What do you think about that?
Her dying wish was for not to select until a new president.
Her dying wish was to not select
a bunch of bull.
Yeah, to not select anybody.
Why is that bull?
Because
Tom, you just freaking said that Obama should have the right to do it.
Wait,
so your story's changing.
No, it's not.
Why is it bull? Tell me why it's bull.
Okay, but just repeat what was her dying wish, to not.
Okay.
Right?
So which one is it?
It's exactly
so
the opposite
I'm just saying,
of that. It's what she said in 2016 as the president should be allowed to make that decision in his 4th year. That's what she said in 2016.
First of all, I mean,
AOC
comes out and says, her dying wish is this. Okay, first of all, nobody knows what her dying wish was. Secondly, you can have whatever dying wish you want. The Costco CEO's dying wish could be never raise the price of hot dogs. Who the hell are you? The Costco CEO. Meaning, there's the Constitution, then there's my dying wish. It means it's two different stories. And then the manipulation taking place to use that as a guilt to say, how dare you, dying wish. And even yesterday, you know what AOC said in an interview? She said, don't worry, let's vote Biden because we think we can get him to go further left.
Wow. We
need to vote Biden because we feel we can get him to go further left. Anyway,
well, let's hope not.
By the way, RBG's tweet, can you put that up real quick for people to see RBG's tweet about what she said regarding Colin Kaepernick? I thought it was a little bit interesting to see her comments about Colin Kaepernick. Back in 2016, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said regarding Colin Kaepernick's protest, I think it's dumb and disrespectful. It's pretty interesting to say that in 2016. I think it's dumb.
It's a CNN story. You think they'd write a story like that right now?
No, not right now. It wouldn't help them. It's really dumb. Wouldn't look up to a person for doing that. Look at this. Wouldn't look up to a person for doing that. That go a little lower. In the interview, Ginsburg steered clear from criticizing President candidate Donald Trump, but calls the rhetoric from the election cycle distressing. She up there, got it. Okay, in the Saturday Night Live, I would have same answer. Okay, so off Kaepernick and others says she thinks their actions are dumb and disrespectful. I would have the same answer if you asked me about the flag burning. I think it's a terrible thing to do, but I wouldn't lock a person up for doing it. I would point out how ridiculous it seems to me to do such an act. Disappointing to hear. Okay. And then Kaepernick said Tuesday, it was disappointing to hear a Supreme Court justice call a protest against injustices and oppression stupid and dumb. Anyways.
I respect her for saying that.
I actually do as well.
Just because you're a liberal doesn't mean you don't have common sense.
Let me tell you what I respect it. No, it's not about common sense. I respect the fact that she's not blindly following all the rhetoric on one side. It's the reason why I watch her documentary. If people ask me stuff about her, I'm going to say here's a true believer who wanted to go out there and fight for women, and she did. By the way, when she was coming up, you know what the rules were when she was coming up? When she was coming up, the rules were very weird. Very weird. In 12 different states, a husband couldn't be accused of getting arrested for raping his wife. In 12 states at that time. And at that time, a company could fire a woman for being pregnant. You're pregnant, you're fired. At that time, many states at that time. Yeah, at that time, if a woman wanted to file for to finance a car or something like that, they needed the husband's co-sign at that time. Look how much change she's brought. I respect the hell out of what she did, but also at the same time, you know, there are certain things I do not agree with her. I just agree with the dogfight that she had, and she was able to keep a good relation with Scalia. One of her friends said in the documentary, she says, I couldn't believe she could be friends with Scalia. She says, I would never be friends with a Republican. They're nutcases. Her friend said that in the documentary, and she is an attorney who said that. And here's a person that knows how to stay.
I think that's absolute bullshit. People that think that way. Anyone who's on the right that's like, oh, if you're liberal, I can't be your friend. Or people who are on the left, if you're Republican, I can't be your friend. You used an analogy the other day. The eagle has two sides of the wings. Yeah. Good luck flying with one freaking wing.
It's not going to happen.
Okay?
You need both of them.
So people out there who are in the Trump cult that are like thinking, oh, if you're a liberal, I can't agree with you. open up your mind. Open up your Rolodex to other people. Same thing on the left. If you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, Elizabeth Warren supporter, AOC supporter, you could be friends with the Republicans.
Guys, can we all send a bunch of hug emojis to Adam right there? Because I think it's time for a group hug
I need
right
a
now.
freaking hug today,
That's what it is.
bro.
Afterwards, we're going to make this mandatory. Every employee every day gets a minimum of 3 mandatory hugs.
Got to.
Mandatory.
Got it. With a mask on.
Where's
With
Ruth
the mask.
Bader
With the
Ginsburg
mask
when you
on.
need her to ban that type of rule?
Final thoughts? You want to take us home with this topic?
Well, no, I was just going to say our whole country is so divided right now.
Yeah.
This is only going to make it worse. I'm fearful of what's going to happen in the next
All
couple
right.